The groan from above wasn't the bed. It was the ceiling. A sharp, splitting crack. Then a tear. A rip. Deafening. A thunderclap inside our bedroom. Not rain, but debris. Dust. Plaster. Wood splinters. Choking. It all came down. The pulley rope went slack. Instantly. One moment, I was pulling, reaching. The next, nothing. Just the sudden, heavy lurch of my own body. Down. Deeper. My heart hammered. A wild thing. I gasped. Couldn't breathe. My eyes stung, gritty. Daniel's voice, muffled, panicked. Chloe, are you okay? My God, Chloe. Something landed on me. Bits of the house. I was buried. Not in blankets. In the ceiling itself. Pinioned. My arms useless. My body, already a burden, now truly trapped under the weight of us. And the house. The sheer absurdity bubbled up, quickly drowned by the shame. By the fear. Daniel coughed next to me, fumbling for my hand. A lifeline. Just stay calm, he whispered, voice raw. Stay calm? Me? The girl who, not even 10 years ago, danced until dawn. Who said yes to every adventure. Now, I couldn't even lift my head from the plaster dust. My fingers, still clasped in Daniel's, felt cold. Gritty. This wasn't just a failed pulley system. This was everything. My weight. My body. Too much. Too much for a moment. Too much for home. Too much for me. Then it happened. Not a crack anymore. A tear. A rip. The sound was deafening. A thunderclap right above us. Not outside. Inside. And then the rain. Not water, but debris. Dust. Plaster. Wood splinters. It all came down. A white cloud, thick and choking. I gasped. Tried to breathe. But the air was suddenly full of fine, gritty powder. It coated everything. My skin. My hair. The sheets. Daniel. The pulley rope went slack. Instantly. One moment I was pulling, trying to get that tiny bit of leverage. The next, nothing. Just the sudden, heavy lurch of my own body. Down. Deeper into the mattress. My heart hammered. A wild thing in my chest. I couldn't see. My eyes were stinging. Full of dust. I squeezed them shut. Heard Daniel. His voice, muffled, panicked. Chloe, are you okay? My God, Chloe. I felt something land on me. Soft, then sharp. Bits of the ceiling. Little chunks. Nothing big enough to really hurt. But still. It was on me. I was buried. Not just in blankets now. In the ceiling. Daniel was coughing. I could hear him, next to me, trying to push himself up. I can't see, he choked out. My own breath hitched. It was a nightmare. A ridiculous, terrifying nightmare. Mid-intimacy. Just seconds ago, we were close. Connected. And now? Now we were buried in our own bedroom ceiling. The sheer absurdity of it started to bubble up. But it was quickly drowned by the fear. I couldn't move. My arms were useless. Pinioned. Under the weight of me. And now, the weight of the house. Or, at least, part of it. The structural integrity was definitely compromised. I could feel the cold, coarse dust settling deeper. It felt heavy. Like a blanket of destruction. My mind raced. What now? How do we get out of this? How do I get out of this? Daniel, bless him, was still trying to reach me. His hand fumbled for mine. A lifeline in the dusty chaos. I felt his fingers brush against my arm. He found my hand. Squeezed it. Tight. A small comfort. A beacon. Just stay calm, he whispered. His voice was hoarse. But it was Daniel. He was there. With me. In the rubble of our ceiling. And our moment. Just stay calm, Daniel whispered. His voice was hoarse. But it was Daniel. He was there. With me. In the rubble of our ceiling. And our moment. His fingers, still clasped around mine, were a warmth against the cold, gritty dust. I clung to that. Clung to him. Because without him, where would I be? This whole situation, it was just another layer. Another weight. My breath rattled in my chest. Each inhale brought a taste of plaster and fear. I couldn't move, not really. My body, already so unwieldy, was now truly trapped. Lying here, half-buried, helpless. This wasn't the life I'd imagined for myself. Not for the girl who, not even 10 years ago, had been full of an almost frantic energy. I was Chloe, the one who danced all night, the one who always said yes to an adventure. Late 30s now. The girl from then felt like a ghost. A whisper of who I used to be. The transition was slow, almost imperceptible at first. A little comfort food after a long day. A skipped gym session because I was too tired. Then another. And another. Each choice a tiny stone added to a growing pile. A pile that had become this mountain of me. The changes started subtle, then accelerated. My knees, once strong, now ached constantly. My back, a perpetual source of dull, throbbing pain. Simple tasks became monumental efforts. A trip to the bathroom felt like an expedition. Every joint felt stiff, heavy, protesting. Fatigue was my constant companion, a thick fog that dulls everything. My world had shrunk. It was just this house, these four walls, and Daniel. Especially Daniel. He was my rock. The only one who saw me, not just the size of me. I remembered how I used to pore over magazines, planned elaborate outfits. Now, my reflection was something I avoided. A stranger stared back. A heavy, sad-eyed stranger. The thought of bumping into old friends, the ones who knew the old Chloe, filled me with dread. What would they say?
How would they look at me?
So, I stopped going out.
Stopped seeing them.
Food became my escape, my comfort, my only real solace. A sweet, soft, silent friend. And Daniel, always Daniel. His quiet acceptance, his unwavering love, it was the only thing that kept me from truly crumbling. He never judged, never made me feel less. But lying here now, under plaster and wood, unable to even lift my head, I felt it.
The shame.
The fear. This was the logical conclusion, wasn't it? My body, too big, too heavy, too much for the very structure of our home. Too much for anything. This DIY pulley, Daniel's attempt to make intimacy possible, to adapt our life, had failed spectacularly. Because of me. The weight. My weight. It was always about the weight. The dust clung to my eyelashes, gritty and cold. Daniel was still there. Still holding my hand. "We'll be okay, Chloe," he murmured, a little louder this time. A fragile promise in a shattered room. I wanted to believe him. But the crushing reality of my situation, both physical and metaphorical, felt heavier than any ceiling. The plaster dust settled, but the crushing weight inside me didn't. This wasn't just about a DIY failure. This was about everything. Every morning was a battle. It started the moment I woke up, not with a gentle stretch, but with the groan of the mattress beneath me. My body felt like a lead blanket, heavy and unresponsive. Just shifting position, rolling onto my side, was an agonizing effort. I'd push with my arms, strain with my core, feeling my breath catch in my throat. It took minutes. Sometimes Daniel had to help, gently nudging me, offering his hand. He never complained. Then came the clothes. Not about fashion anymore. Not about looking good. Just about coverage. About hiding. Baggy sweats, shapeless tunics. Dark colors. Anything to disappear a little. I never looked in the mirror properly. Not anymore. Just quick glances if I had to. My reflection was a stranger. A swollen, tired stranger. Moving through the house was its own kind of Olympic event. The stairs. Oh, God, the stairs. Each step felt like climbing a mountain. My knees ached, a deep, persistent throb. My lungs burned, demanding more air than I could supply. I'd lean heavily on the railing, knuckles white, stopping halfway for a breather. I'd pretend I was just admiring the wallpaper or checking my phone. Anything to mask the exhaustion, the utter depletion from simply existing. Inside my head, a constant war raged. It's just a phase. I'd tell myself, I'll start my diet tomorrow. Really? But tomorrow never came. Or it did, and then Daniel would walk in, carrying a bag from the bakery. My favorite cream cakes. A little treat, love, he'd say, his eyes full of warmth.
He meant well.
He always did. His love felt like a warm blanket, comforting and soft. But sometimes it felt like it was smothering me too. Daniel loves me. He doesn't care about my size. That was my most comforting lie. A shield against the shame.
This is just how it is now.
My body is just big. A dangerous acceptance. He saw my struggles, of course. He adapted. Stronger chairs. A wider doorway here or there. He built that pulley system for goodness sake. He thought he was helping me live with my body, making things easier. But in doing so, he often made it easier for me not to change. His love was unwavering, beautiful, and utterly enabling. And here we were, under a fallen ceiling, the physical manifestation of all my convenient truths collapsing around us. My breath hitched again. Not from exertion this time, but from the raw, undeniable truth staring back at me from the jagged edges of the broken plaster. This wasn't a phase. This was my life. And I was trapped. The silence was deafening, broken only by a trickle of plaster dust. Daniel moved first, scrambling out from under the debris. His face was streaked with gray, a mix of fear and confusion. He looked at me, then up at the gaping hole where our ceiling used to be. Chloe? Are you okay? His voice was hoarse, shaken. I nodded, a weak jerk of my head. The truth was I wasn't sure. Physically, maybe. Emotionally, I was a wreck. This wasn't just a structural collapse. This was us. This was our life, literally falling apart. Our bedroom, our sanctuary, had become a minefield. Intimacy, once so easy, so natural, was now a performance. A careful choreography of angles and cushions. My breath would catch, not from passion, but from the exertion of shifting, the silent shame of my bulk. I could see the longing in Daniel's eyes, the way his gaze lingered, remembering what we used to be. He never said a word, never made me feel less than. But I knew. I felt it, heavy as my own body. He missed us. He missed the freedom, the closeness that didn't require strategy. I missed it too, more than anything. But the shame built a wall between us, thick and unyielding. Every touch became an assessment. Could I move this way? Would I get stuck? Would he see the effort in my face? It was easier to just not. To pull away, to pretend to be tired, to let the distance grow. A chasm opening slowly, quietly, right in the middle of our bed. That's where Daniel's pulley came in. Bless his earnest heart. He saw my struggles. He saw our struggles. He saw me panting just from rolling over, saw the way my body limited everything, even the simple act of holding him close. He wanted to fix it. He wanted to bring us back together, physically. Just something to give you a bit of leverage, love, he'd explained, his eyes shining with hope. He spent weeks tinkering, reading online forums, sketching designs on napkins. He was so proud of it when he finally bolted it into place, a sturdy wooden beam, hooks, ropes, and a loop handle dangling invitingly above the bed. It was supposed to be his solution, a testament to his unwavering love, his relentless optimism, a way to make movement easier, to bring back that spontaneous intimacy we both craved.
He thought it would help me.
Help us. And for a while, it did. It offered a precarious sort of freedom, a way to lift, to shift, to make space. But it also screamed, silently, of the problem it was trying to solve. Every time I reached for that handle, it was a reminder, a physical acknowledgement of how far I'd let myself go. A monument to my weight, his love, and the unspoken truth that lay between us, heavy as the plaster dust now settling on our duvet.